And scene. I went to the driving range down the road.
Okay.
Shout out Tacoma Metro Parks.
S/O.
And I was just hitting some dingers, getting prepped for meeting my friend to play golf.
How'd you do it, by the way? Oh, wait, you said you did okay. You're having trouble getting your ranges locked in.
Yeah, especially the chipping. I would get scared, get chipping shy. And I did par 4, which I actually got on the green in 2.
There you go.
Putted 2.
That's
so par 4.
Nice.
That was the highlight of the day. But regularly, longest drive. Easy.
Wow.
And so I'm there getting prepped, hitting dingers. And next to me pulls up a father and 3 girls.
Okay.
Daughters. Not just random girls. They were his daughters, I'm assuming. Age is probably 10.
He was a father of someone, and there were 3 girls with him.
I'm guessing maybe like 10, 12, and 15, 16. And they're you could tell like they weren't like avid golfers. They were in just like regular old t-shirt, straight clothes, same as me. You know, they're not there in their Nike polos or their titliest hats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so
the lights just got brighter.
the Lord is here. Or a spirit. And so they're taking turns and he's coaching them and blah blah blah. And I'm not really looking, and then all of a sudden I just hear a and
oh yes,
the smallest girl, 10-year-old, is club in hand, and now he is holding the back of his head going, I told you to wait. I told you to wait. And then I look over and just blood pouring down.
Oh!
Yeah, blood pouring down on his face. And he's like, oh, he just keeps going, oh, oh. And he's like bent over and he's like, I told you to wait. I told you to wait. And the girl's just like frozen, just holding the golf club like, And then the 15-year-old's like, oh my gosh, like trying to, what do we do? What
was the 12-year-old doing?
Looking back and forth. And she didn't really know what to do either. And so...
Did you rush in to help him?
No, because he just walks away from the girls.
Yeah, so he didn't kill him.
Yeah, and then the oldest one follows him, and then the 2 younger ones are there, and there was like this other like motherly type person down there that was kind of like keeping an eye on as well. And I was like,
this is your story. Don't look at your phone. Go.
And I don't know why I got distracted. It was, you know, when you get a text from someone that you don't normally get a text from, so it's like, is this important? Anyway, so they walk away. The girls are still there. I'm like, okay, that mom's watching them, and I was like, okay, I'll just go back to hitting. And then the oldest one comes back. She just
15, 16.
grabs the golf club, and she's like, I can't even. And she like tries to hit one, then she's like, I can't focus. Then it was like a little while later, they're like, so where's Dad? And like, he's in the bathroom, and there's an ambulance coming.
An ambulance?
Yeah,
game?
and I was like, who's watching him in the bathroom? What if he passes out or something?
What a papoose. So let's do some updates.
Update.
I have an update. I'm taking this one off. I have a Lord update. Did you listen to the song?
I listened to like 47 seconds of it and I got tired of it.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, first of all, I have an album art review. We talked about it on Adam's episode. I hope you all liked that.
You clicked the wrong update.
That's the one I wanted to click because I didn't want to talk about that one. I'm taking it off. And I have a new review of the album art. I'm fine with it. I was fine with it on the podcast.
Okay.
And I saw her on Colbert. That was just a candid. She was with her friend. I thought about this a lot.
How often do you get a candid shot like that, though?
I don't know. When you're two girls frolicking, I guess. They're just young ladies.
Maybe one was texting, laying down. You know, you're holding your phone over your head, and then she like stepped over her to get something.
Okay,
and
maybe it wasn't completely candid. Obviously not. But maybe they're just having some fun.
I really saw a thing where it was in reference to an old album cover.
She didn't say that when she was on Colbert.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to admit that. They don't admit their samples and stuff from the 70s.
They do. They all do. No, they all don't. But also...
So tell me what your thoughts are about it.
I've thought about this a lot. And it has to do with modesty. It's funny when you talk... Because modesty is subjective. You can't deny that modesty is subjective. Like people will say, like, you know, what's appropriate at the beach is not appropriate in your office, essentially. Like everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But also across like cultures, if you're at the beach all the time, if you live in a place where you're at the beach all the time, it's like normal to be in a bikini or, you know, top or swimsuit, whatever. That's just it's sort of like what you're used to.
Apparently she's in a yellow rash guard. Shout out rash guards.
Shout out S/O. And I will say, and that's what I think happened with that picture of Lorde. Because I've thought about this a lot with like, I know it's kind of a weird connection, but like Christian missionaries who like go to other parts of the world, or you see like people in, you know, other parts of the world where they are live in hot climates or something and they don't wear a lot of clothes. You can't just say like, hey, you need to be in a freaking ankle, you know, dress,
jeans,
woolen dress that buttons up to your chin.
Unmixed fabrics.
Yeah. And it's like, that is normal in their culture. It's not immodest in their culture. So by introducing something as immodest, you might be the one making it immodest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think about the Lorde. She's a New Zealander.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Kiwi.
They're at the beach.
She's hanging out. She's just... That's how I take it. Anyway, that's my Lorde update. Oh, but the song... You know what that song sounded like? It sounded like... I think it's fine. I wasn't against it.
Cheeky.
I didn't think it was so crazy. It's obviously like...
Oh, it's not crazy in terms of anything else going on in the world.
Yeah. You said it was like pornography or something.
Did I?
You were shocked by it.
No, I think I just brought it to the table. I just brought it to the table, I think.
Play it right here. Editor, play it. She's releasing? When?
You haven't seen?
No!
Oh my
That's
gosh.
big news.
I'm going to have to Google right now.
Our Lord and Savior return. But be prepared for the album art. Make sure you have your child search off.
Tammy says
Oh, man. That is a graphic shot.
But anyway, you know what the song sounded like? It sounded like an album, like number one song on the album, sort of setting the tone song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that was supposed to be like a party anthem, Jack Antonoff missed the mark.
Party rocker.
But if it was supposed to be setting the vibe song, like that's a perfect number one song, like track number one song for an album.
Yeah, it's
that's
never
like,
really the best.
Yeah, it didn't really sound like a single unless they were purposefully trying to go like way off, like sort of random, don't sound like anything else on the radio.
Right.
Which they might have been doing, but it doesn't sound like a good like radio pop song. It's a pop song, but it's not a good radio song.
No. I thought it was boring, but yeah. That was just...
It's one of those slow build songs.
It's really annoying that like
Lord
I
update.
read that article and it showed the picture of the other album art and it was like the same pose, but it was like they used an effect where it was like the outline of the body and it was just like starry, constellation-y type thing.
Yeah.
But it like looked like a body, but it was like the same pose. That's what I saw, but I don't remember what like what old reference that was to.
Here's a short update. Adam mentioned the Puth train, Charlie Puth. And Charlie Puth said he's trying to make an album perfect. He put it on his notes app. He released it to everybody and said, hey, I'm trying to make a good album, blah, 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 blah. It's not out yet. Don't have a date for you.
Yep.
I think we're better than Charlie Puth, and I'll tell you why. We have to bring you an episode every week. We can't just say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to delay. I can't give you my best right now. Will and I have to give you our best every week.
Week after week after week.
We have to bring it. We record 2 episodes at once. We have to have energy for both. Does this week sound worse or better than last week? That's because we recorded it second. We will sound tireder. We will sound drunker. We will sound... What else will we sound? Sleep? We will sound more feminine.
You're the one with the great vocabulary. Sound more...
Loquacious.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but I think it's a word.
I think that's a name of a lady that I met downtown Tacoma.
Loquacious.
Hit me.
Talking or tending to talk much or freely. Excessive.
Talkative.
Characterized by excessive talk. Wordy. Dude, I am on a fire.
I believe it's loquacious.
Loquacious. Loquacious.
Yeah.
Okay, don't...
It's a O with a line over it.
Oh.
Loquacious.
Okay, but I'm just...
Well, when I Googled it, I did L.A. because I thought it was loquacious.
Oh, I'm just letting it roll off my tongue.
Like molasses rolling out of your mouth.
Okay, Charlie Puth update. We did that. These are just some of my random thoughts. Oh, I have another random thought. Mark Driscoll, he was mentioned. I did not put 2 and 2 together. I sort of forgot. I knew before the episode. I forgot during the episode. They have a podcast out now. So anybody interested, you don't have to be interested. Very few people who listen to this podcast probably will be. But they're doing a Christianity Today, random, is doing a short series podcast, Who Killed Mars Hill? The first episode was about Mark Driscoll. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to listen to it because I'm kind of
Curious. I got not an update, but maybe a gripe.
Okay.
Since it's, and you just stick in for this whole thing. Don't just jump out. You got to hear me out.
I have a gripe too, so go ahead.
Hear me out on this gripe. It's a month right now, and I believe the month is still...
Dum, 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 dum. No, I think this is... Wait, no.
At the time of right now, my recording, it is coming to an end of the illustrious month of Pride. Am I right?
Illustrious.
Simba. And
Pride Rock.
Pride. Gullah Gullah Island. I don't know why that reminded me of that. And so I went to Capitol Hill last week and went to try a new restaurant, and I did something I don't normally do, and that's I didn't look up the menu before I went, which was a mistake. It was still good, but I wouldn't have made the trip out there for it. Anyway.
Your warning at the beginning to stick with the story, I'm feeling that right now. And I'm choosing to trust you. Because you said Pride, then you said Lion King, then you said there's a menu at a Capitol Hill restaurant.
Yeah, Capitol Hill, Pride.
But the Capitol Hill detail has me sticking with the story. And
so I'm out on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
And there are some flags everywhere.
Yes.
You may have noticed this year an update to the old Pride flag. Not the grand old flag, the old Pride flag.
Speaking of, can we just... yesterday was our nation's Independence Day.
Who?
For the grand old flag. Can we just say the Pledge of Allegiance real quick?
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I couldn't make it through without laughing.
It's so weird that we can just spout it off, kind of. Anyway.
R.I.P. Betsy Ross.
R.I.P. Betsy Ross, yeah. Betsy Ross. All right. So there's some new Pride flag.
Oh,
you may have seen it.
I have not. Let's Google.
Do it. Say.
You
just
keep talking.
Google new Pride flag.
Yeah, I get it. I know how.
If you do this on your own at home, you may see what looks mostly like the original old rainbow Pride flag. It's going from, I believe, red at the top to purple or violet at the bottom. And it looks like a rainbow, which... anyway, I was going to say, God came up with it first. But, so remember, stick with me in the story. This isn't anti-anything story, except this flag. This is my gripe. They have now added in some more colors, I believe, for the more, whatever. I believe it's a lot of trans stuff and whatnot. But now we have a triangle coming from the left that involves black, brown, gray, light blue, and pink, I believe. Maybe white. So now we've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, yellow, purple. I think they skipped indigo. And then we have black, brown, gray, white, pink, light blue. And so...
Close enough, but yeah.
That's like, what, 10 plus? 10, 12 colors?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All on this flag. And here's my gripe. For a group of people that is pretty well known for having a lot of fashion designers, artistes, queer eyes for the straight eyes, can't we come up with a better looking flag?
Can't.
I just feel like we dropped the ball. And it's like, if you got this in the washer on the wrong setting, it's going to come out just brown. All the colors are going to mix together. So I just think it's a poor representation of the community that is such a vibrant, fashionable, fun-loving community. And now this flag is lackluster and very lacking in the fashion sense. That's my qualm of the week.
Too much luster, if you ask me.
But
what's happening on the flag is what's happening in that arena to begin with, which is
adding letters to the acronym. What if we just added a stripe onto the American flag until all of a sudden there's so many red and white stripes that it just looks pink?
Well, statehood for Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., I'm with it.
Well, that wouldn't add stripes, my dude. That would add
stars. 13 colonies.
The
red is for the blood.
White.
Blue is for the bruise. White is for the man who died for me and you. That's Alexander special.
So that's my qualm. You made me nervous because you weren't talking that whole time when I was talking about it. I felt like I was in my head. It made a lot of sense.
I'm with you, dog. Last episode, I probably talked for 90%. So,
Yeah, so I was.
welcome to the club, dog.
I just didn't get a nod or anything, so I felt self-conscious, like I was getting canceled.
I personally don't want to get canceled, so I have to think about my thoughts.
So yeah, that's my opinion. The main point being, you got so many fashion designers come up with a better flag. That's what I'm saying.
I have a gripe, and it's not as serious as what person you would like to join orifices with. It is this: when people have a tag on jeans that they bought, when they put the little tag that goes over the top of the pants,
Yep.
how do they attach it? How do they attach it, Will? The one that goes over the top
A lot
band.
of the times, thread. Little threads. The little
Sometimes it's plastic, but sometimes it is
actual threads. Sometimes it's those little plastic with the like melted end on one end and the T on the other end. Staples.
Yes. Yep.
Um,
And so on
used to always
those,
get cut on by those when I worked at the mall.
you know what's nice about those when you decide like these are the jeans I want from
You know
American
what?
Eagle.
You want to go? You want to pop it off?
And with the plastic ones, you can just pull on that thing, and the plastic extends, and then all of a sudden it can't carry the weight anymore. Snaps, and you got to find each end of the plastic in your carpet. Because it's like, is my child gonna eat this when he finds it? You know. But then here's my gripe: people, PSA. When I am out in public, when I'm going to Walmart, not specifically Walmart, but just, when I'm going to Walmart at 10 o'clock on a Friday night and I'm walking around, one thing that really bugs me and really irritates me is when I see those two little threads on somebody's jeans, two little pieces of white thread
Or like
there.
red.
Or
Sometimes
red.
It's like a color.
So this is a PSA, folks. When you buy a pair of jeans and it has that little thing and it's connected by a thread, don't just take the paper.
It's like loops of threads all in one little spot.
You can take a thread. What's that called? Thread.
I think it's called a de-threader.
A de-threader, thread cutter, thread thing. You can take the ends of a pair of scissors. You can take fingernail clippers, whatever's around.
A razor blade.
Steak
Your
knife.
teeth.
And just before you rip that off, just cut those. Rip it, then rip it, and then you can just pull the backside of that thread and just pull it right out. Same goes for when people buy like a blazer, and in the back, like if it's too, like if it has
it's supposed to be disconnected.
Yes!
It has the two X's.
Yes, it has the X's on there,
And also people are like, well, these pockets aren't real because they sew the pockets when they make them, and you're supposed to open them up.
Open those up. Actually, sometimes I like to leave those closed, especially if it's a breast pocket, because I'm not going to put a pocket square in there.
Why not?
Because I'm not Steve Harvey. I'm not going to put a pocket square in there, so I don't want it flopping around over time. So I'm going to keep it nice and tight. But, however, yes, you go ahead and loosen those up. Take the two. What are those? The tails.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a long tail like those old fancy tuxes. Like
Royal wedding.
Like conductors wear at the theater. But
I was going to say, watch your mouth talking about conductors.
okay, do we have any more gripes?
I have an update.
Okay,
You may remember my time spent with a broken foot commenting on TikToks and Instagram posts and seeing how many likes I can get. I haven't done it as much just because I haven't been sitting around as much.
Explain your general.
In short, I was creating an algorithm, trying to find an algorithm to get the most likes on the comments of a TikTok.
Let me see if I can remember. Early.
Get in early, yes.
Quote something from the talk.
Correct.
And put a couple laughing emojis or something.
Yep.
That's basically it.
That'll get you a top 5 easy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, still to this day, this was months ago, right? That episode.
Mm-hmm.
Still to this day, I get notifications of those comments getting likes.
That's funny.
And then, and I don't usually do it on Instagram, but all of a sudden, I commented
up in the sudden.
Commented on Doggos Doing Things, I think it's called, or just Dogs Doing Things. Let me double check. If you're not following Doggos Doing Things.
This is a Will story if I ever heard one. Okay.
I like how whenever I have a story that's personal to me, whether it's food or something you're not into, you're like, oh my gosh.
I'm creating a persona. I'm involving people in the podcast.
Well, you're living up to the Bad Brothers persona.
Okay. That's the name.
So I commented on a post of Doggos Doing Things, and
meme knowledge.
I can't find it anymore, but anyway, I didn't have the same notifications turned on Instagram because I don't really post on there and stuff. So I forget how it came up. Someone commented on it, and so then I saw someone's comment on my comment.
Yeah.
And then I click on it, and I got the top comment by like hundreds over the next guy.
Oh, dang, dude.
And I was like,
are you kidding me?
I was like, it's crossing over from
TikTok
to the gram.
You did a couple on the gram, though. I think that's where you originally showed me.
I thought it was the talk.
Anyways,
the likes are still coming in. If it was a monetary value, I would
hacked it.
Probably about 2,000 pennies per a penny a like.
Here's what you should do.
How can I monetize it?
Like this. I'll tell you. You take your algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Early. Quote.
Mm-hmm.
Emojis.
Mm-hmm.
And you add
boobs. Oh.
Bad Brothers Pod.
Oh, okay.
Instagram. You send people to the gram. Our gram.
Or maybe I start doing it as the gram page.
And then,
like have you noticed the Slim Jim guy on Instagram? He comments on everything, and it's the official Slim Jim account. He comments on like all the meme pages.
Oh, what are you saying? What Wendy's is to?
What Wendy's is to Twitter. Slim Jim is to Instagram memes.
Oh, snap it to the Slim Jim. Oh yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just fun, It's a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
I'm not on the Twitter. I'm not on the Facebook.
That's what I talked to with my counselor, who is not good today. Reflect. What felt good today?
What felt good today? My haircut.
That's what
happened last week.
That's what I took away from my counseling sesh today, which was not good.
What felt good today?
This felt good.
This did feel good.
A question I forgot to ask last week. Do you have like a memory, like when you think about, like the episodes we recorded over the last year? I'm trying not to say vasectomies because that lasted like so many episodes. And I did Dear Diary. That was maybe my favorite, but you got any of those?
Like a favorite episode?
Yeah, favorite episode, or just maybe a recording thing that stands out or whatever?
I remember it was fun when we were first starting being in the garage, and then it started getting like colder and colder.
Oh yeah.
As winter was happening, and then we had to like figure out not to do it in the garage because it got so cold. But sitting out there in the garage was fun, in the camping chairs and my broken foot,
Oh yeah, broken foot.
having to prop up my foot and then recording.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Well, I liked recording in your garage too, and we created the little setup.
Yeah.
We had basically a little table setup going on.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Good times.
It was.
Good times.
Episode-wise, me. I like them all. I like that they're just always changing.
Yeah, at the beginning I thought, what am I going to be able to say for this many? This is going to have to. We're going to have to reach an end point at some time because I'm not going to have enough to say from week to week, and sort of debatable whether I do or not. I just talked about the little white things that connect to the tag on a pair of jeans.
Right.
So
I like when we have also like connecting themes and that have come naturally, like the updates and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing those.
Yes. Oh man, there's a couple things I want to talk about on here that I gotta talk about in the right way. Dead dads. I mean, I gotta be able to bring that up in the right. I need to bring some evidence.
Did you see I did a Mark Norman impression and he shared it on his Instagram?
Yeah, dude.
After we went and saw him, if you didn't know, as my Christmas gift to Michael, we went and saw Mark Norman.
Update.
And then he was asking for impressions because Joe Rogan kind of did one. And then,
he did?
Yeah. He started doing it on accident, and then Annie Letterman was like, "Why are you Mark Norman right now?" And then he did it more.
Nice.
More not Mark Norman-esque.
Oh, Joe Rogan did Mark Norman.
Yeah. Well, he started talking funny like as a joke, and then Annie Letterman was like, "Why are you Mark Norman right now?" And then he really amped up the Mark Norman isms.
Here's one thing that changed for me, even though this was last episode.
Give us the update. 'Cause we've talked about it on here.
I didn't know we were going to record tonight, so I only, I try to have a few, bullets in the gun. Here's my theory for showing up to record, just if you want to know, folks at home, little how the sausage is made. I write down something if it's like I have to be able to talk about it for 5 minutes.
Oh.
And so I know, so I sort of know now with practice,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not a thing that I'm sort of like in my head, like putting all 5 minutes together. Now that we've recorded so many episodes, I know, even if it's just a single thought, I have a pretty good idea of what I could talk about for 5 minutes and what I can't. Because I don't want to just bring things up for 10 seconds and then have you go...
How right now you're talking for 5 minutes about talking for 5 minutes?
Exactly. That's a little called tricks of the trade.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought it was just your personality.
No, it's partly both. Go back and listen to those first few episodes and tell me I did not need to learn how to talk better. Okay?
I needed to.
No, I will. Okay. Okay, let me talk. Too long.
I was pulling the frozen Zoom call.
Well, I was trying to set up context in the right way, but I have talked about one thing that has changed over the last year is I think only 30 days, because I just went through my prescription tomorrow, is I went on those pills, Wellbutrin XL extended release, 150
XL.
milligram.
Magnum.
The-
Wellbutrin Magnum.
and so, yeah, there's a few different kinds. Whatever it is. It's not Zoloft. It's not what are the other ones?
Lexapro.
It's not Lexapro. It's Wellbutrin, and it's extended release. It's supposed to last longer through the day. And I took it. The first day I took it is when we went to Memphis, and I will say for those first couple of days, I was like grateful for everything. I was like, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. This is so nice. Thank you. And it was just like, it was like coming out of me. It was like not something, but I was like trying to do. It was like naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, this trip, I was like excited for the trip because I was really excited to take Landon and have those experiences with him and him to fly on the plane again. And it was kind of like fun, father-son, even though you and Grandma were there and we were going to see the family.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun experience to have with him and everything. And it's going to be a memory. And it was just, he would get to go down to Tennessee and, he's old enough where he's going to remember a lot about the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't tell if what I was feeling was, a lot about the trip or a lot about the pill.
Mm.
But then it lasted the next week and I still had those feelings. And then about 11 or 12 days in, the bottom fell out.
Your body's like over it.
Yeah. And I probably had like 4 days of just like back to feeling like I felt before. I was like, I felt like I was on the verge of tears about everything, like hopelessness feelings, just like not end of the world, but sort of like everything is irritant and everything is sort of upsetting and, out of control. Part of it is just like psychological, like control thing. But what I'm trying to do on these pills is sort of figure out how much might be my body chemistry and how much might be, my mental habits.
Yeah, brain habits.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I talked about with this counselor because she's like, because I said something like, well, these pills are making me feel so much better. And she's like, no. These pills are giving you the opportunity to see the world as it is. And so I had to explain to her, and it was sort of like irritating me last conversation we have. And so I sort of...
Is this the same one from before?
Yes. So I was like, I was telling her today, I was like, I don't feel like we're talking about two separate things. I think we're talking about the same thing from two different angles. I'm talking because I'm in this place where I'm trying to figure out what's happening in my body. I'm trying to like put all the pieces together. Actually, I'm trying to take all the pieces apart.
Right.
So that I can put them together. So I'm trying to figure out, is this, is this, that, what is, whatever. So I'm talking about like the function of something and she is talking about the experience of something. So I'll say, if I had this weekend, like Father's Day. So Father's Day, we just went down to the Nike store. Tammy's like, what do you want to do? She wants to make it special for me. And it's just like, I don't know, because it's just like, there's so much pressure then.
You're not good at receiving
no, it's not that.
Special attention?
No, it's not that. It's just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to fly to Brazil or something? That's what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. So it's like, we're not going to do that today. So...
So everything else sucks.
No, I just rather just like, let's be normal, So then I'm like, well, I'll go down the Nike store, Nike clearance store in Centralia, try to see if they have some shoes there. They did. They
I
were
thought you were
nice.
going to say Auburn Supermall.
Nah. And so I went down to the Nike clearance store. I did get some shoes, and I was like, well, we got the Discover Pass in the car. We'll bounce around on the way back. We didn't because Declan fell asleep, but we had lunch and we didn't get back till dinner time. And we left in the morning, but I don't really know what we did. Besides, stop at the Bremerton Airport.
Oh, yeah.
Take a private jet somewhere. And
Wait, did you actually go on the plane?
no, we watched some
Okay.
planes take off. There were tons of planes taking off. I think they were going for some sunset
Father's Day stuff.
tool around Father's Day. And, I was telling my counselor, like, this today felt, or, sort of reflecting on that weekend, it felt good. There was never a moment where I was like bored or wanted to get out of it. Or, like, for me, the way I felt before is like, everything felt so unsatisfying. And it's like, I love my family. I love Tammy. I love my kids. I love being around them. But physically, like, what I feel inside of me is like, I hate it. I want to get out of it. I want to do something else. But when I go do something else, I hate that too.
Yeah.
And I could go do something else after that, and I hate that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start hating the way I feel. And then I'm like, am I just going to feel this way the rest of my life? And then it has like effects on your relationships. And then you start going like, oh, am I never going to have a friend the rest of my life? And so it starts going crazy. And then you just feel bad all the time. So I tried to tell her, like, so we went and did that this weekend, and there wasn't a time where I wanted to check out. I was engaged all the time, and it wasn't something I was trying to do.
Yeah.
It was. And then at the end, I said today, is like, Tammy will say something like, I just really love my family so much. I love being around you guys. Like, I've never said that in my whole life because unless I said it like intellectually.
I was talking about moving like to a different state because everyone's talking about that, ditching Washington and ditching California and whatever, the West Coast. And someone was like, "Oh, it'd be so hard to leave all my family," and I was like, "Eh, except for the pod."
Well, I'm just saying, like, physically, I've never felt that feeling.
No.
And so Tammy saying something like, "Oh, I just love being around you guys." It's like, that's so foreign to me, and that sounds messed up. And that's what would make me sad, is like, that sounds messed up because mentally I like being around, but physically the way I feel inside is like, no, I don't. I hate it. So that's what led me to think this is something physical, not just mental.
Right.
And so these pills have made it so I feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I told my counselor lady. It's like, I felt better. And she's like, no. Or I was like, it changed my mood or whatever. She's like, no, it didn't do that. It allowed you to see the world as it is. And so what she would be saying is like, these pills like take that, cut out that depression so that
take all the filters off so you can just take it in as it is.
So that I can take my world in. And she's saying, like, what you do is appreciate them. It doesn't make you feel good about them.
Yeah.
You do feel good about them. And I was like, so I'm like, we're just saying the same things from two different angles. I'm saying, like, functionally, down the road, and XYZ equals feel better.
Y equals MX plus B.
Exactly. And then, she's saying, no, you're experientially, whatever. So it's been sort of a wild ride. My primary, he asked me, like, do you want to go up? And I was like, oh, I think I just want to wait for a while.
Yeah.
And try to see where, because it dipped down, but then it sort of leveled out. It's like, I'm not like rose-colored glasses guy now, like skipping around and whatever.
Elton John?
Yeah, I'm not Elton John or the guy who played him in a movie. But I can sing Crocodile Rock like an MFer.
My go-to is Tiny Dancer.
Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Dodo. How is that guy so good at playing the piano? Do you see his hands?
No.
Small, hands.
Like little Asian hands up and down the piano.
I wouldn't say that, but small hands, fat fingers.
Oh, fatties?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like a bunch of little Vienna sausages
Yeah,
dancing on the keys.
Yeah, Viennas. Anyways,
What
but I noticed a bunch of tiny things
right.
that are different about me. So
That's
it is
good.
allowed. It is sort of. I see what she's saying. It is giving me clarity, but also, I mean, functionally, it's making me feel better. So,
Right.
but also, you have to build those mental habits.
Yeah, definitely. I
What's wrong with you?
I was trying honestly. Here I'm gonna pull a Glassman here and explain what I was thinking. Honestly, I was like about to say something, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to pull the whole you just unloaded your life, and now let me talk about me. I didn't want to do that, so I wanted to acknowledge you sharing, and I appreciate that.
Good,
And
but also
it is,
we go back and forth.
I
That's
know,
what we
it
do.
is insightful, and I think it's good. I'm very happy for you, obviously.
I'm full on exposed.
Michael's giving me the bumblebee tuna treatment, but I did that to myself. I did that to myself, buying him the nightgown. And so, no, I think that's awesome that you're feeling better. And obviously, you know, I know it's been a long journey
TBD.
for you.
Yeah, my whole
Figured it-
life.
Yeah. I remember you told me one time, and cut this out if you want. But you said sometimes you would get off work and then you would just drive with, or, you know, you just didn't want to be anywhere and you would just drive. And that reminded of that when you said, like, you want to just leave, but then you leave and it doesn't get any better.
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes I had to tell Tammy. I mean this was part of it. I was doing things like I would stay at work and I didn't need to, and I'd be like lying and saying like I had to stay late or whatever, and I would leave, you know, at 8:00 at night, and it sucks because then I was taking away time from Tammy. I was like taking away time from kids, but it's just like that's what I was saying. It's like I would feel like I didn't want to go home, but I didn't want to be there, but also I just didn't want to do anything. And then you start having like worse and worse thoughts, and it's not good.
Yeah. So about me. What do you think about this? This was brought up today.
Okay. Long ep. Thank you for sticking with us.
Sticking with this.
It can be a long ep.
Here's where
It's July 5th.
Yeah. My diet.
It's a holiday.
My diet starts today. Preparation for jiu-jitsu competition. Mud wrestling. What do you think of this? Oh my god.
It's one of those things where you always have clarity for somebody else's problems, but never your own. You know?
So what do you think about this?
Okay.
So last night I worked the night yard, 6 p.m., got home at like 5:30 a.m., worked the whole time, super tired. I go to sleep. I have a confession to make to John right now that
I got a confession to make. Sorry, I'm making this longer. Go.
that I got a random call, luckily, that woke me up. I don't know where it was from. And then he texted me and said, I'm ready for you whenever you are for the haircut. And he was texting me early because he got done with the next one early. And I was literally in bed asleep. And
I'm in the parking lot.
So I texted him and I said, oh, I'm on the way. and then I really did think it was at 9:30, but it was 9:20. And so then I really was like, oh, shoot. And I got there at 9:21.
Nice.
But I really did think it was at 9:30. That was not a lie, but I just did not confess that I was in bed asleep. And so, well, I took a shower before I went to bed 4 hours prior.
Did that feel good?
Oh yeah, I was literally, arms were black.
No, not the shower. Just say.
To get that off my chest. Nah. No, yeah, it did, I guess. But I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I just
No, you
forgot.
didn't. I was just making.
I just forgot to set the alarm because when I work overnight like that, and especially last night where it was light for 80% of the night,
Yeah.
I don't even remember what day it is. I don't even know what day it is right now. And so, like in my subconscious, I don't know what day it is. I have to think. Okay, I went to work Wednesday night, Thursday, whatever.
Look who's loquacious now. Come on.
And so, I get 4 hours of sleep after a crazy long day before and working a lot. And before that, I installed a water heater and repaired a patch of drywall at a house. And I think I went to jiu-jitsu too at 5 a.m. Long day. 24-hour day. Oh my gosh. Michael's taking crotch selfies. And you're doing a Lord picture over there. And so
My crotch is covered.
I do that. I get a haircut. I go help Grandma
Barely.
make a bed. Barely. Go help Grandma put together a bed and try to do this and drive in this traffic with an accident in Gorst, yellow Corvette, ran into a semi-truck. And then I was texting you about the pod because I realized we needed to do the pod. And then I was like trying to figure out the day. And I was like, let's do it today. And then I also went to John's son's Little League game because that sounded fun. And it's like regularly for me, I will put sleep last and I will fill my day to the max of hour 1 at 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu to whenever I happen to go to bed. Could be midnight, could be 5 a.m. the next day because I got called for work. So regularly I am filling my day with stuff and I feel fine. Like I said, this was actually the best. I feel pretty awake right now and good. And I feel worse when I have nothing to do and I'm just sitting watching TV or at my house or whatever. And so sometimes the question is am I covering up, my thoughts or whatever, being alone with my thoughts by filling my time, or am I truly extroverted energy, need to be interacting, with people in the world?
What's your gut feeling about it?
My gut feeling is I just like it and I enjoy it, so I go do it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm doing something I'm not drinking to cover up my feelings or something, So I feel like it's just naturally what I want to go do. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know because I'm not here on your downtimes.
Yeah.
Okay, my initial inclination would be to say you're not as open with your feelings or whatever as I tend to be. That was the first thing that popped in my head. But then the thought after that was he doesn't have to be, and some people aren't, I might have to, whatever, express my feelings about something over the course of 30 minutes because I'm analyzing every detail and I'm trying to figure out and I'm processing all my my feeling. That is kind of how I do get to the bottom of my feelings.
Yeah.
And another person, maybe Tammy or whoever. I mean, Tammy likes to talk about things, but it's easier for her to say I don't feel good about that, or that made me feel good, or
Just come
that
to the
made me
conclusion
feel bad,
faster.
or just express it more simply.
Yeah.
And the important thing, if there are sort of negative feelings that you have, the thing wouldn't necessarily be to, I guess that's part of it, to evaluate whether you're covering them up by doing stuff. But the important part would be to say it is positive to share, to have an outlet for some bad feeling.
Yeah.
So at some point, do you have that? you know, if you only do that once a month to a friend or whatever, fine. But there's other people who need to write it in a journal every night because it needs to get out of their system.
Yeah.
I think there is a sort of what works for you approach that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like sometimes with Tammy's, you know, Tammy, I'll be like really upset about something, and I'll have to say like, I do not want to talk about it in this instant, in you know, in this moment, because I will say something I don't want to say, and I know if you just give me 3 days to think through it,
3 days
or whatever, you know, if it's serious,
Yeah.
I will get all the emotional junk out of the way, and I'll
Right.
get to how I really feel. And she would rather, you know, process that differently, but it's like the important part is the communication in
Yeah.
general. And I feel like without saying anything specific, I'd say like that's sort of up to you to be honest about it. And I guess, and with the help of people in your life, you
Yeah.
know, people can also say like, hey, you're running, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's how it got brought up, because it was like, Lauren was like, how are you even do that with like, 4 hours of sleep? And I was like, well, I don't really know. But I know, but then like I've thought about it in the past, just like the past year, just like I get kind of like cabin fever when I'm home for a day,
Yeah.
By like the afternoon, I'm like, all right, like where can I go? And it's like maybe sometimes that's where I feel like, is this a negative thing? Because I'll get like a little excessive, like I'll do anything to get, to get out,
Yeah.
I'll drive, 2 hours to go meet someone for coffee or whatever. Something that maybe just like seems
Yeah.
excessive just for the fact of getting out of the house.
Yeah.
But
Do you think it'd be, I mean, well, it involves a lot of different things, but I was going to say, like, if you're in a relationship, like for me, like before Tammy and I had kids, I started going backwards in my head right now. I was like, before Tammy and I had kids, we would be out a lot more doing things with friends, going this place, going that place, running around all weekend, whatever. But also, so we had a lot more to do.
right.
But also you do spend some time just like with each, you watch a TV show together.
Mm-hmm.
You have your little life at home too. That's probably a lot of it. I mean,
yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, being the house alone is different. And then, I think that's part of it. And I don't get like sad or anything. It's just almost like stir crazy, almost like. Well, sometimes I'll be like, I haven't even talked out loud today, and it's like 2 p.m. or something.
yeah.
And I feel weird, and so, yeah, it's where I think like sometimes I feel like, is this get like healthy if I'm like always leaving, always whatever? But I think it would be different if I was like, like with like a relationship, like with someone, living with someone, that would probably be different.
Yeah.
I could like get out some of like those little interactions that would last a lot longer if like staying home, but whatever.
I'd also say like, for me, my perception of you is you are somebody who can be honest with yourself. And I think that is like one of the best sort of, skills. I don't know if that's the right word, but
The other thing you said, when I'm really upset about something, when you said that, I instantly was like, I don't think I'm ever really upset about something, which is probably not good in some instances.
Now we're getting somewhere. No.
It's like I would never be that upset about something.
Yeah, but I take you as somebody who is, for the most part, can be honest with yourself, and I think that is.
Yeah, I end up being pretty like binary too. It's like yes or no, black and white,
Yeah.
good, bad, happy, sad.
Yeah. Because I think
male, female.
I think when you can be honest with yourself, you eventually will, you have the greater possibility of really getting down to the truth. And, I think that's something good about you. We all go through funks, or we go through this or that. And I'm not even saying like you're in a funk. I think what you're saying is sort of normal for
I feel like I'm like having living my best life right now.
All right. Will's great. I'm not.
Oh, Jesus.
If I can summarize this episode in a binary way, up and down.
Ones and zeros.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Maybe you
Wellbutrin XL? Bad Brothers XL episode.
Maybe you learned something from this. Maybe you want to share something. Let us know.
Maybe you want to share something like your skills. Maybe you have a business and you want to give us something free. I'll give you a jingle. I'll share my skills with you. Maybe you want to share this episode with a friend. Maybe you want to share your reasons for being considered being the next guest on the podcast. You can email a resume or some sort of plea or some sort of manner of convincing to badbrotherspod@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And we're taking resumes, requests, videos, like hostage videos.
Hold up today's newspaper.
And we want to thank you for listening. We want to thank you for listening to our loquacity.
Loquacities. Papoosies.